So, ladies and gentlemen. It is funny how things can change within a week. Uh-oh. One second. It's funny.
Can't disrupt the monologue.
All right, guys. Apologies for that little delay, guys. Unfortunately, YouTube background all over the place. Before I was rudely interrupted, I was just saying, it's funny how things can just change within a week. It feels like a week ago, Will. I'm sorry. Half it. Sorry. Because Will has been in my mind the whole time, right? He's been the one that's been in my mind the most, right? Right. It's funny, man. Like, well, Wednesday we did a Blaugrana pod. It was a miserable Blaugrana pod, right? We were in the mud. We had just lost 2 games in a row. We had surrendered our lead at the top of the table. But if in any worst case, a case worse than death, right? We had to let these Madridistas talk. These Madridistas couldn't shut up. These Madridistas had all of this. And you know what? I blame us because we let them have a lot of this. But you know what's funny? The footballing gods, man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during this month of Ramadan, the month of giving, Hafid, Allah came in clutch for us because he made sure to hold these Madridistas. And what can I say, Hafid, before I pass the baton on to you? The last thing I'm going to say is, it is lonely. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar Talks Football. And y'all know what time it is. It is that time again. Every single Monday, we are back on another live stream. No Monday game this week. And the Blaugrana Podcast is officially back with my man, Hafid, Barça Boy 103, back in the building. Hafid, we are in a much better mood, man. Talk to me, man. How are you doing?
Doing good. Better than last episodes for sure. Getting a nice, comfortable win at home against a poor side, but also other results favoring us. You can't really complain too much. I'm more worried about the week we have ahead, let alone what's happened this past weekend. But decent performance overall. Job done in the evening. We got some good cameos, some good goals scored as well. Other results going our way, so you cannot complain whatsoever. But there's bigger fish to fry because this week ahead is absolutely huge.
Hey, listen. Bigger fish to fry is great and all, but we will tackle it when that arrives. I am not letting these Madridistas get away. You think you are going to escape? Maybe Hafid might be humble, but I am not. I'm refusing to be humble. I know it's Ramadan season. I'm supposed to be in my good behavior. I'm in my good behavior. I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to call you guys. I'm not going to call you any names. Don't worry about it. I'm too big for that, man. You know what I mean, right? But honestly, bro, the amount of talking we've been hearing, man, these guys, they had so much fun. And this guy right here, you think I didn't see you on Friday? I know I wasn't on the Chaos show, but I saw you. I saw you with the glasses. Well, guess what? Today, I got my glasses on. Today, I got my glasses on. And you better make sure that you don't have those glasses on today. You know what, bro? I need the glasses of shame on the Chaos today because I will be watching. Listen, I'm a man of principles. I'm not going to be in the Chaos show just today. But don't worry. I will be watching because I know man like Weria. Weria will handle you guys. Don't worry about it. I know Weria will do me proud. Right? But, yeah. What can I say, man? Listen. It's like a cup of coffee, man. We were only down to the top of the table for a cup of coffee, and just like that, we are back at top, bro. And look, listen, man. At the end of the day, I won, Madrid fans. I did. I told them, bro, listen, don't get too comfortable up there. And I'm not even sitting here saying that we were that amazing that we're going to catch up to you guys. No. But this goes back to what I was alluding to, right? Which is that this season, both of us are terrible. We're both bad. It's only one of us. It only comes down to who is just consistent enough to actually get it done. You understand what I mean, right? And obviously, we're going to talk about that later. But just for the time being, let's just focus on what we saw yesterday. Levante versus Barcelona. 3-0. At the end of the day, have it. We talked about this on the midweek show, right? We did it on Wednesday on the channel here, and we did it on your channel. And I told you, bro, 4-0. I said 4-0. I was confident. I said, bro, I'm not worried. I think these guys will wake up. I feel like we're gonna see a reaction from these guys, right? Because they definitely need to show us some reaction. You understand what I mean, right? I told you that I wouldn't be surprised if we kept a clean sheet. And it was basically a great performance, man, all around, right? I feel like the first half, amazing first half, right? Amazing performance from, especially in the midfield, right? Shout outs to Frenkie de Jong, masterclass, man. That was probably his best performance this season in any game. I'm telling you, man. Like he couldn't do no wrong, bro.
He was way better in the Super Cup final,
dude. I'm telling you, man. Bro, I'm gonna be real, right? You know what it is? For the young haters, they will say, well, no surprise, it's Levante, right? He performs well against teams like this. But dude, it's performance like that shows me, dude, this guy, he brings something different. There's something else he brings that nobody brings in the midfield. You understand what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
And he showed it yesterday, man. And also, man, shout out to him also. As the captain, bro, I like the fact of how he was standing out, right? He was vocal. You understand what I mean? Because that's one of the things that, we questioned De Jong about when he was given the captaincy, right? Like, is he going to be a vocal captain? Because we need our captain to speak out. You understand what I mean, right? But you see him, right? He shows a lot of heart. You understand what I mean, right? And he was absolutely incredible. Marc Bernal, bro, like, literally scored his debut goal, his professional goal, first professional goal 3 weeks ago. He's got his second goal. And, bro, shout outs to Bernal, man. Like, this guy, he's had a long season, right? We haven't seen him play the whole first half of the season, right? Barely see him play, right? But I was telling people, I said, guys, be patient. I genuinely think that Flick, he has a plan for this guy. I genuinely do. I don't think, at the end of the day, he's lost hope in it. I think he still has some hope in this kid, right? And now we're seeing it. He's practically playing every week, whether he's starting or he's off the bench. He's always playing every week. I think if you look at these guys last 9 games, he's actually played for Barca, whether it's from the bench or starting, right? Clearly, Flick thinks he's now ready to trust him, right? And, shout outs to also, guys like, in the defense, man like Cancelo. Bro, how many times have I been talking about this dude? When are we going to see him? Bro? We saw him yesterday. We saw him at left back. And this is another reason why, bro, I think deciding off the Cancelo was amazing in the January, because people forget he plays on both left and right back. So we could literally play him anywhere if we just need one of the two players in the fullbacks to be replaced, right? And what a performance from him. And I think that for me, he did mention that, when he came back to the club, he was kind of lacking mark sharpness, and that's why the manager didn't really trust him. But he believes that he's now much. I hope that, the manager can trust him even more. But it was it was a great performance, obviously, like I mentioned, 3-0, but now Frenkie de Jong, and obviously Fermin. This guy doesn't score no more goals, does he? Like, bro, I think his last 3 games, 2 of them were last 3 goals he scored, 2 of them were from outside the box. I think he scored outside against, was it Copenhagen? He scored like a goal from outside the box, right? In that game too. Like, bro, this guy, he's building himself a reputation to being a shooter, bro. A real shooter, right? A guy who can just blast the ball, man. I wish he could take more risk like he did in the game against Levante. But yeah, man, listen, I've been monologuing for almost 10 minutes now. Hafet, the floor is yours, man. Talk to me. What did you think about that amazing performance?
Yeah, I thought it was a good performance overall. We saw some players get their opportunities. I was really excited with the lineup as well going into the game. I really wanted Flick to try something different in the defense, which he did with Cancelo left back, Gerard Martin going back at center back. And yeah, Cancelo's performance does show maybe he's back to his normal level, can maybe compete on both flanks there. I thought the performance in the first half was quite good. Second half, it felt like we kind of took our pedal up the gas a little bit. We kind of like, we're 2-0, what happened? Let's not push for it. Didn't have too many chances in that regards. The Firmino goal, of course, absolutely a crazy long shot. You have players come off the bench and have impacts as well. I think who came off the bench? I think Arujo, Rooney, Pedri now is back too, which is great. Ferran came off the bench as well for Min. So slowly but surely we're getting this team back to full health. Once Gabby comes back, hopefully in the next few weeks, where the team is fully fit again, which is fantastic to have. To have those options, opportunity for players as well. But we all came into this game knowing that this would be comfortable, right? I think I predicted 3-1. You said 4-0. Despite being back-to-back losses, we knew this would be a comfortable one at the Camp Nou. But the real ones are now the next two tests coming up at the Camp Nou. Villarreal, Athletic Madrid, like you mentioned. We'll talk about it on a later pod. But overall for this game, it went exactly how I expected. 3 points, 3 goals, clean sheet. Solid day at the office. But you can see how this team really reacts when the real tests come up very, very soon.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. I think that, at the end of the day, if we're going to keep it 100, like the game against Levante, it was a winnable game, right? And it's the kind of game that you want when you see what happened, the day before, right? In the Osasuna versus Madrid game. You're thinking, okay, this is the perfect opponent to have, right? Where, we know that they're going to set up, and on paper, let's be real, I was not worried at all, right? I'm going to be real. I don't think these guys, I think that when you look at Levante, they've been a thorn in Barca's side, but really in their stadium, not on ours, right? Especially at the Camp Nou. And it wasn't, like you mentioned, man, I feel like I wouldn't call it 10 out of 10. I think the first half, and this is what surprised me, Hafed, right? It's the difference that we saw, right? From what we usually are used to, right? We see Barcelona have a slow first half and pick it up in the second half. I feel like in this game, it was the opposite. I think in this game, this first half is where we did, I think, most of the damage. And second half, we just kind of, we, like, you could see the players were kind of, slowing down, they didn't really do much in the game, right? And yeah, for me, I think that is, at the end of the day, I didn't really have an issue with it. I wasn't sitting there like, in my screen saying, we need to go forward, this and this and this. I just thought, listen, at the end of the day, just get me the win in this game. Get me the win, get the 3 points, let's go back on top. That's what we need to do, right? And that's what we did. And that was what we did. And I'm very honest, man. It's one of the few games where, I'm not going to lie, I don't think the forwards were actually amazing, and which is very, very rare, because usually our attack is always fired in, especially in games like this where we actually win, right? I think in this game, Yamal was surprisingly very quiet in this game, right? I think he was very, very quiet. Right? I don't really remember like a lot of like standout chances I can really think of. I think he was poor, right? But he was quiet. Rafinha as well, right? I thought that Rafinha would turn up in this game, but at the end of the day, he's returning from injury, right? So I don't really put a lot of like attention onto him, right? Lewandowski obviously started, also didn't do much, but defensively, right, we saw some changes, right? Gerard Martin was back in the center back in this game again with Eric Garcia. And look, I'm gonna be very real, man. I feel like Gerard Martin is more trustworthy for me than Kobashi, bro. I don't know about you. I'm very real, man. I don't know, bro. Like from what I've seen, I'm not saying that he's better than Kobashi talent-wise, but I feel like our defense is much more secured when he's in there, because even when he plays at left back, we remember they were experimenting him and Kobashi as a partnership, right? And it was actually working. I think it was around December, January-ish, right? We saw, and that's where the word of Gerard Maldini was coming from, because he was actually playing well alongside Kobashi.
Yeah.
And now you've seen him play well alongside Eric Garcia. Like, what do you think? Do you think that, for the time being, since it's working, right? Would you be okay with like seeing Martin more frequently in the starting 11 more than Kobashi?
I don't know, because like I've said a lot, I do not rate Kubarsi and Eric together as a partnership. I rate them individually, and I don't rate Gerard Martin whatsoever. But is the team a bit more fluid with him maybe at center back? I can see that point. It's hard for me to argue against it. Who do you drop? I don't know. I think Kubarsi is the undisputed, but however, Eric Garcia has had a phenomenal season.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Eric Garcia right back, but of course, Hansi Flick will not do that.
Yeah, I would bring. You know what I would do? I don't even care, right? Because our defense is so bad. I'm like, bro, just reshuffle it until we find one formula that works, right? Because, bro, let's be real, right? Any center back partnership that we put in, our defense is not safe at all. You understand what I mean, right? So I'm like, well, put Eric Garcia at right back, put Araujo in the center back alongside Martin, because we've never seen that partnership. We don't know how that's going to look. You understand what I mean, right? And then put maybe Cancelo, right, in the left back, along to challenging with Alejandro Balde, since that's where the manager wants to put him. You understand what I mean, right? I would like to see that, bro. I don't know why. For some reason, I don't understand why we haven't seen enough of Araujo. I'm not saying start him every week, but I feel like if you've seen how he's performed against Albacete and you've seen the confidence is back, start playing him more and more and more, even if it's from the, because that's what we're seeing him. He's a bench player right now. He's a bench player, like, bro, he's coming off the bench every game, basically. Araujo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he comes off the bench, he's really not doing much, but that's a small sample size. You understand what I mean? But like for me, I just feel like that's what I think. I don't know about you. I just feel like with Barca right now, because our defense is so bad, just try anything. I know people are gonna be say, "Oh, it's a risk because so experiment in the middle of the season. That's crazy and all that." But what have you got to lose? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't. I think, as I said, I'm at a point where I'd reshuffle the defense until we can find something that works. I really like, for example, I want Cancelo to play right back, but then again, we have little to no options at left back, unfortunately. I think like a Cancelo, Gerard Martin, Kubarsi, Eric back line would do well. If you want to put Araujo in there instead of Kubarsi as well, that could do well. Or Araujo instead of Gerard Martin. I think the reason why Gerard Martin works and the reason why people like it, like yourself, for example, is because of that left foot. When he has the left-footed, option at the left center back position, the ball just moves and flows, and everything is more synchronized than it is than it is as opposed to being a right footer. But it comes down to talent as well. And Gerard Martin ain't that great. Although he has a left foot, I mean, he's not that great. Maybe put Balde left center back if you want to. I don't know. But yes, I do agree with you that maybe, there needs to be some sort of shuffling defense. Akunde, Eric Garcia, Kubarsi, Balde back four will not get us far.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very real, man. I don't think it will either. Especially what we've seen the last two games, right? We saw the same set of partnership in two games completely flop, right? I think, if that is not a sign that the partnership is not going to work, I don't know what is, right? Especially when you're seeing your highline getting exposed time in and time out. I'm sorry, bro. Right? At the end of the day, we need to be, careful, right? At the end of the day, just try and see what works. You understand what I mean? Right? But another thing I also want to mention, and we didn't actually mention this, is actually talk about man like Pedri. He's back. I know, he didn't do much in this game, but bro, what a moral boost it is for Barca, right? Especially now, right? We had our last two games poor, but we managed to do what we needed to do yesterday to come back at the top of the table. With the return of Pedri now in the midfield, and now we saw De Jong with the performance he's had, with the way Bernal has been playing, Olmo has been good, Fermin is good, right? Like, how do you feel like seeing Pedri back now, right? I know obviously he's just returned, so I'm not expecting to just, you know what I mean, right? Get back into the street, get back into, do his best because he's just coming back from injury. But how much of a moral boost is it for you?
I think it's huge, especially with the two huge games that we have coming up as well. I think he'll be absolutely imperative if we want to make any chance of a remontada next week against Atletico Madrid. And also, you get that solidarity back in the team, that composure, that tempo controlling that we've missed so much. Whereas Olmo, I thought, has done a decent job in the month that Pedri was injured. It's not his position, right? And people can be put in different positions and do a job for a while, but that the person in that position will come in and just look more natural and more fluid, and that's what Pedri is. Pedri also makes what people think as a big theory, Frenkie de Jong, much better beside him as well. So you're kind of getting a player and a half back instead of just one player. So it is huge, and when you have the best midfielder in the world and he gets injured and you miss him for a month, you do start to see that more and more and more often. So I think him coming back is huge, of course.
No, I agree. I think that it's definitely huge. And honestly, I think that Barcelona, having him back is a huge moral boost, right? And look, because we know at the end of the day, when it comes to Pedri, bro, nobody can do what he does. You understand what I mean, right? Nobody can do what he does. And, we just have to we just have to be grateful. And we were able to manage the storm, right? We didn't really lose, we didn't really drop points that much until like obviously last Monday, right? So we managed to handle the pressure, right? To
Yeah,
do what we needed to do, right? So Omo, he did a good job, right? Covering for the I'm sorry, Pedri during that run, right? Because it wasn't really bad, but obviously he's no Pedri, right? But for
of
me,
course. Yeah,
great perform. Well, great. We're happy to see him back. And like you mentioned, right? We know Gavi is returning now. I don't really know how much impact Gavi is going to do, to be honest, right? I'm not
probably
really
nothing.
expecting.
I wouldn't
I'm gonna be
expect too
very real.
much.
I don't, right? I know it's great to say, yeah, Gavi is on his way back, and it's
But it's not
it's
like a ACL injury where you have to like take his time and coming back. It is like it's a serious injury, but not serious to the
it's
point
an
that you have
injury
to
that's been
like.
taking him out for months, bro. Almost half of the season.
Yeah, it's a big
Listen,
injury, but it's not like an injury that you have to, take your time with to bring him back like it was for him last season or Bernal during the season. It's not like that kind of a level, but it is one thing to keep an eye upon. I don't think he'll be a starter come the end of the season, but his that option off the bench starting in games like a Levante game or things like that nature will definitely be huge for us. And again, squad depth in training in the dressing room, it'll be massive.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I think that we need to, you know, we just have to be, we just I feel like right now we just have to learn from our mistakes. That's really it. That's the way I say it.
Mhm.
Because obviously we're gassed, right? We're back top of the table, but this is the issue, and I'm gonna go back to this, right? I feel like this is how this season is gonna go. As much as I would love to, just throw Madrid fans and do all of that. If I'm gonna keep it 100, I think this is how this is gonna go. It's just gonna be hard potato in between the two of us, right? We'll give them the league, then we'll take it back, then we'll give it back to them, then we'll take it back. You understand what I mean, right? I feel like that's what
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be. I'm gonna be real, because and this is honestly for me why I believe that the title will sway towards our direction. Is because when it comes to Barca, right? For me, and I don't know about you, but for me, you can always see Barcelona's defeat coming from like the games from like the 2 or 3 games before that fateful game where we do lose, right? You kind of see the performance is not impressive, right? Maybe we will get the wins and maybe we'll get the draws, and we're like, yeah, we got the win, but bro, if we play like this against that other team, we're gonna be in trouble. You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
me, I felt that way, I would say, since the Elche game, where I was feeling uneasy, even in games where we were winning. When we beat Elche, I wasn't happy about the performance. I said, bro, the way we were letting these guys, like the amount of times the high line was being opened, right? The fact that Elche was able to score through our high line again, right? And then the game against Mallorca, which, yeah, we won comfortably, kept a clean sheet, but still, right? Defensively, we were not that good, right? First half, we were poor, even though we took the lead, right? And then it combined to obviously the Atletico game, where, and this is the important thing, Hafid. The important thing was this. The one thing that I was telling you throughout the podcasts in the past was how we were always struggling in the first half and always picking it up in the second half. And I said that we needed to change this, because if we play against a team that will make us suffer in that first half or take their chances in that first half, we could be cooked. That's exactly what Atletico did to us in the Copa del Rey.
Hmm.
They took advantage of our poor first half performances in the past few games, and they guarded themselves a great lead. And that's why in the second half, when we picked it up, it didn't matter. You understand what I mean, right? In the game against Girona was the same thing again. First half was very poor. How many times was Brian Hill having his time of his life against Kunde? And then second half, we picked it up. We took the lead, and when we bottled it. You understand what I mean, right? And I feel like maybe, I don't know. Maybe Flick himself noticed it, and he probably drilled it in these players. Like, yo, start from the front. Start like you mean to go on. The fact that we scored within like the first 5 minutes, it told me, I was like, bro, this is completely different. I have not seen a start like this in the last 5 games, bro. The way we just started like a house of fire from the moment we kicked off, right? But this is, like I mentioned, the difference with Barca. There's always signs somewhere, right, during the season. Like we have like 1 or 2 or 3 games where we're winning, but the performances are not great, and you're thinking, oh, this needs to change. This needs to
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
Flick needs to look at this. If he doesn't look at this, we're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
This big game against Villarreal coming up, or just use an example, right? But like Bilbao coming up, or one of these games coming, Atletico coming up very soon in the Bernabeu, at the Wanda, right? We need to wake up. Whereas with Real Madrid, that's the difference. With Real Madrid, you just don't know when they're going to lose. This is why the defeat against Osasuna it shocked me. But when I really thought about it, it didn't surprise me because this is how they've been losing all season. You don't know, you just don't know when they're gonna lose. They can just come in and you can look at the game and think, yeah, they're playing against Villarreal who are in form. They play Atletico who are in form. They play this team that's in form, and then they win. Just when you think, this is the game where they're gonna lose. Nope, they win.
That was the first time I think Osasuna beat them as well since game
15 years, bro. Last time they beat them was in 2011.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a little bit of a surprise. I thought there was a good chance of drop points, maybe a draw per se, especially with how the first half went. Once Vinicius scored, I kind of suspected that it would either end in a draw or a Madrid win. I am very surprised that Osasuna got the result, because if they didn't, if let's say for example they drew, they would have been top based on head to head because they beat us in the first Clásico in La Liga in October. So we still would have been in the same amount of points and stuff like that. But that dagger by Osasuna, this hopefully maybe can, rejuvenate Barcelona, because like you mentioned, not only did we play well against Levante, we went to that game knowing that if you win this, you're back on top, because Madrid played first and they fumbled. That's why it's good to play first if you win. If you lose, you give the other team so much more, fight, hunger, momentum, and confidence. So I think next weekend we play first, if I'm not mistaken, because Madrid have a midweek game against Benfica. So we play Saturday morning. I don't even know who Madrid actually play this upcoming weekend.
I'll check it right now. Give me a moment.
Let's see.
Where is Real Madrid? Saturday. Okay, Saturday.
They play Getafe. They actually play on Monday. They play Getafe on Monday.
Hopefully they get the Monday game curse. But yeah,
we play at the Bernabeu, so they should be fine. But
we said the same thing about what's his name, Celta Vigo. I'm sorry, Celta Vigo.
The next weekend we're away at the next La Liga game. We're away at the San Mamés, and then they're away at Celta Vigo. So that's going to be a huge one.
That's true. But that's
probably the match weekend where someone can either expand a gap or there'll be someone else different in first place. So, winning that game against Villarreal is huge, because for a fact Monday against Getafe, Madrid should be winning that. If they might, we'll see what happens against Benfica. Benfica, they lose, it might, derail them completely. But I think that weekend, Celta and us away the San Mamés is going to be huge. And that'll be straight after the second leg, so we have to wait and see where we're at as well.
Because here's the thing: even draws are not good enough for Barca. Even if we draw games, we could lose our key to the top. So at the end of the day, the games definitely, even the game this weekend against Villarreal, I am not looking past that game, because Villarreal might just come in and just get a draw against us out of nowhere, where we're probably leading and trying to finish up the game and we can't do it, and then somehow they get the equalizer and sit back and get a point, and that would be catastrophic for us, because now we've given the baton back to Real Madrid for Monday. You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
But this is, like I mentioned, when it comes to Real Madrid, though, right? And I don't know if you've noticed it, right? I don't know if you follow Madrid's games that much, but when you look at Real Madrid, you know they're going to lose. You just don't know when they're going to lose again. You understand what I mean, right? So, because you know what it is? It's not like Barca where the signs are there in games, in the last few games, where you're like, this defeat was coming. This defeat was coming. You understand what I mean, right? With Real Madrid, look at the last 3 games. Look at the way they were winning. They were winning and they were performing well. Guys like Vinny were cooking. All of these guys were playing out of their skin. You understand what I mean, right? Nobody was looking at their games going into the game against Osasuna thinking, Osasuna are going to get all 3 points out of this, or even a draw out of this. Maybe we were thinking, Osasuna are getting swept. I'm sorry. They are getting swept. Right? And guess what? They lost. Just like in the Alba Theatre game in the Copa del Rey, right? Yeah, they lost to us. But guess what? Nobody was looking at that Alba Theatre game. Everyone was looking past Alba Theatre for the weekend game. And then they lost. Right? And then you look at even way back, when you look at the Celta Vigo game, or even the Benfica game in the midweek of the Champions League. I think that same week they played, I think, was it I think it was Levante, ironically, that they played, right? Where they beat them 2-0 or something.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
was
It was,
that? I
no,
think
you're
it was
right.
a bit. That was. I think that was the game the weekend after the Benfica defeat, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think it was
Or it was one.
Levante.
Yeah, it was either one of the two, right? But they played so amazing, and I think they had like 2 wins in a row, right, where they performed well, and then everyone was looking at that Benfica game, thinking, yeah, Benfica getting cooked, and then Benfica absolutely cooked them, and you're thinking, yo, where did this defeat come from? You understand what I mean? And that is the issue when it comes to Real Madrid. This is why I keep telling you, Madrid fans, like Madrid fans, that's the difference between me and you. Yeah, I know my team is going to drop points. I know we could potentially lose another game. But here's the thing. You guys are going to lose more games. And the worst thing for you is you don't know when you're going to lose those games. When? It could happen anytime. You could literally be in the form of your life and then lose in the next game against, I don't know. Who's even left in the league that they have to play? Maybe like Athletic Bilbao, potentially. Or
We
something
have
like
Atletico
that.
Madrid
Where
as
you're like,
well.
Atletico Madrid, where you're like, okay, well, we're gonna get the Madrid derby in our home stadium. Oh, what a surprise! You probably lose that game 2-1 or something like that. I don't know where. You're thinking, well, where did this defeat come from? That's the difference. That's why I think that we are gonna win this league. Because the difference between us and you guys is that we go on runs. You guys, the longest run you guys go is 3 games. That's the difference between Barca and Madrid. Real Madrid's longest run that they can go without losing, or longest run they can go winning, is 3 games. With Barca, we can go like a 5, 6, 7 game winning run. That's what we went on in December to get back on top of the table. Like, that's the difference. That's the biggest difference. So for me, I think that when it comes to Barca, right, as much as I don't want to sit here and be overconfident, right? Because at the end of the day, you can never be overconfident with this team. But I believe that we have what it takes to win the league. I think that we just have just the right we have just the right what's the name?
Ingredients.
What's that?
Ingredients,
and also consistency. Right, we just about enough consistency to go on like that run that will get us to the league title at the end of the season.
I guess they just went on a run as well of 9 games. We had, I think, our run of 10 games or 12, like before we lost to Sociedad or something like that. So it's definitely there. I think it will be tight, but I do hope that a gap opens up at some point. I'm sick and tired of this table potentially changing, week in, week out. But it's in our hands, as it was after we lost to Girona, and as it is now when we beat Levante. But I think it comes down to really what happens in other competitions. La Copa del Rey, we make a remontada, Champions League, whether we draw PSG or Newcastle. These things will have implications as well, because if we have a round 16 against PSG, I'd put Barca Athletic out there. Wouldn't even bother, to be honest. So,
bro, I'm gonna be very real with you. I'm not even looking at the Champions League. I'm sorry, bro. You know what it is, right?
I'm talking about scheduling one. I'm not talking about competing or anything. I'm talking about the schedule. So, now we'll have an extra midweek game. The players are going to be up for it all. They all come out of interviews all year round. Our dream, if we can win any trophy, is to win the Champions League. Not if you have PSG round 16. You are getting cooked. Even if you have second leg at the Camp Nou.
Bro, I'm going to be real. Yeah. I'm not.
I'd rather make a remontada. If you told me right now you get knocked out of round 16 of the Champions League, but you make a remontada against Atletico Madrid, I'd take it right now. 100%.
You take it. I mean, I would too, because you know what it is? I'm a very real man. Look, it's not that we're I'm not ambitious or we're not ambitious. It's just that at the end of the day, we have to be realistic. You feel me, right? Even if we were to play PSG and somehow, right, we did the job and actually won. Yeah, right. I'm a very, very real. Do you think we have what it takes to win? I mean, to be fair, if we knock PSG, I feel like it would be, I would say, a big, it would be a huge statement. And also it would create this thing where you're like, because you know what it is? It's shortening the pool of favorites. So if we were to knock PSG out, then all of a sudden now you're thinking, okay, realistically, who can win the Champions League? Bayern Munich, right? Liverpool maybe, because these teams can still get it done. Maybe Pep could still try to, if he took the Champions League more seriously in the knockout rounds, he could get it done, right? Real Madrid, we know, they can come back the Champions League out of nowhere, right? And us too, right? Barcelona, we can also find a way to maybe fraud our way. If we frauded our way against PSG, I'm sorry, we can do it against anyone, right? But I don't think we can. I'm not really we have to live in reality and just accept, look, We are not ready this season, right? And that's for another time. But big up to Jonas in the chat, man. Big up to you every single time, bro. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, every single time. My guy, man. But yeah, look, for me, I think that's the case, man. And look, I'm going to be very real. We have to be, I have to say this to have it. I expect this team now to take things seriously. We have a big game, a huge game, right? This coming weekend against Villarreal. Big game. I know it's at home, we're the favorites, but still, it's a team that could potentially take points of us, right? Bilbao away, that's going to be the test, like you mentioned, right? Because I feel like if we can win these two games, I can generally see us going on a run until the Athletic game. Now, I'm not saying we're going to lose to Athletic, but I can see us after winning these two. If we were to win these two games, Villarreal and Athletic Club, right? I think we can go on a winning run until we play Athletic not in the Copa del Rey, but in the league.
How many games are there in between? I don't even think it's that much. I think it's like
it's not that much, but still, because here's the thing: if you go on a 5-game winning run
games.
or something, like
Sevilla and Rayo Vallecano at home.
Then respectfully, we're going to win both games. Respectfully, we're winning.
We should. A lot of home games. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 home games. How many away games do you have in the league? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, 7-6 ratio, but I think the timing of them are also important as well. We have a lot of them where they're back-to-back home games as well, which is good.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. So right now I'm looking at it, right? So Barcelona, we play obviously Villarreal this weekend. Then we have the Copa del Rey, the return leg, obviously, which is at home as well. But that's in the Copa del Rey.
I would also keep your eyes on the away games. You have some MS.
That's what I'm saying. So the away games, I'm looking at the Celta Vigo, the Athletic Club game. What's that?
I mean, the away games, you have some MS, which is hard for us. We have the Metropolitano.
We won the last 2 years, though.
No, don't let that overshadow. We won there last year because it was the last game of the season. The season was done pretty much, and that's why we won it. When it's going to be in a big moment like this and you're in a title race, it'll have a huge impact. So you have some MS, you have the Metropolitano Stadium, then you have Getafe away, which is tough. You have El Sadar, also know where they just beat, of course, Real Madrid yesterday. That's been tough for us over the past few years. We've lost.
We have to go there. You're right.
Alaves away should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then the last game of the season, you have the Mestalla. Now, Mestalla, Valencia have been crap the past few years, but we always struggle at the Mestalla. I think, what was our result? I think last year we beat them there.
No, I don't get this. Bro, what do you mean? Like, okay, so we won their last season 2-1, not only, but that was at the start of the season, right? But dude, have you been watching the last few games I've seen us play Valencia, especially under Flick, bro? But
remember the first game under Flick was there. We beat them 2-1. Before that, the records have been like draws and losses. They score first. The last
I'm gonna be very real. This current Valencia team I'm looking at, bro, they have no bravery. I'm sorry. You know what it is, right? Sometimes you can play teams like this, right? You know what so here's the thing about Osasuna. The reason why the Osasuna game surprised me is shocked me, but didn't surprise me. It's also, if you remember, last season Osasuna beat us. They ended our winning streak under Flick. You understand what I mean? The 4-2. Right? So we know that when it comes, and Budimir, like, we know the guys that they perform in their stadium, they perform in the Asada. That's why I'm looking at that game and Osasuna thinking, that could be definitely one I'm gonna be looking at in the calendar for sure. You understand what I mean, right? Valencia, bro, I'm gonna be very real, man. It's not that Valencia, they try and then they lose, and that's it, bro. It's the fact that they don't even try against teams that they know they can beat. The reason why we absolutely destroyed them after that 2-1 when we beat them last season, even the Copa del Rey, we beat them 5-0 at the Mestalla last season, bro. Dude, these guys didn't even show any fight, zero fight. You understand what I mean? In the game against Real Madrid a few weeks ago, bro, the Real Madrid left so much space in the defense, and these guys showed no heart. I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm gonna be very real. I'm not saying they can't beat us, but I'm gonna be very honest with you, man. I don't see them really showing the bravery.
That is the last game of the season. So hopefully we would have already won the league, and we look today against Real Betis at home, and everyone's happy and all well. So the last 2 home games. So that's why last game. Hopefully the league will be wrapped up by then. Alaves should be easy. So really, you only have 4 tough away games left. Getafe away, which is definitely difficult. Also, so no way difficult. Atletico Madrid and San Mamés. You have 4 really, which hopefully the last 2 away games won't be too much affected into the title race. Hopefully we have won the league by then. So if you win those 4, you never know. But you look at the home games as well, by the way. You have Sevilla, which they beat us the first time. We got to cook them. You have Rayo, who took points off us. I think they drew. We drew against them, so we gotta get revenge. Espanyol, I'll be there, so that's already a guaranteed 3 points. Celta should be at 3 points as well. Real Madrid, that's of course the tough one. And then Betis. So even the home games as well are semi comfortable as well. So you survive those those 4 away games, right? Sama Mes, Atletico, Getafe, Osasuna. You win, I would even say 2. You're in a good spot. And of course, you win all those home games. I think you're in a comfortable spot.
I'm very man. When I look at this run, I'm very confident. I really am. I mean, don't get it twisted. There's banana skins in there for sure. But I'm confident we can even go on a run. Honestly, because Barcelona in the league, for some reason, we really take the league seriously. You understand what I mean? And even even the Atletico game in the league at the Wanda, I genuinely would be surprised if we go there and win. I genuinely would not be bro, I would not be shocked at all. Maybe some people would be shocked after the way we just got battered there. But I'm telling you, we could go there and win like a 1-0 or like a 2-1 or something like that over there. And the reason why is because when you look at Atletico, bro, they are clearly not the same team that they are in the league, that they're in the Copa del Rey. Bro, they're putting all their eggs in that Copa del Rey basket. Literally. Dude, bro, even in the Champions League.
They've conceded so many goals recently, man.
That's my point.
They held 3 to against they held 2 to Espanyol. They held 3 to Club Brugge, 3 to Rayo Vallecano as well. So they've conceded 8 goals in their last 3 games. So
and we couldn't score 1 against them, bro. I'm a very real. This is why
bad in the office.
I'm a very real, bro. This is why this whole talk of the remontada, bro. I'm beginning to think, is it actually more realistic than I'm giving it credit for?
Bro, my friend was at the stadium for the Levante game. The atmosphere in the stadium is beyond dead. If you do not have an animation stand for this game, or at least 6,000 capacity, we are cooked. I promise you, if we have one of those two,
honest, bro. Yeah.
We'll have a shot.
I'm gonna be very honest. I saw a footage of what's his name, the Fermin Lopez goal, and dude, I did not like the view, bro. Like it looked like we were playing this game in a closed arena, bro. I was like, bro, I was like, if you're watching this game, you would think our fans got banned from the stadium, bro. Like, dude, like it's so like huge and just a vast of emptiness, bro. Empty chairs. It's like, come on, man. This is not my stadium. This is not my stadium, man. Listen, I want my stadium is supposed to be to the rafters, right? Loud, right? But yeah, listen, man. But hopefully we can get it done. And man, like what's his name? Laporta, bro. I'm not gonna lie, my guy, he's been doing a lot of like PR stuff. Did you see what he did yesterday, bro? Like clean it. Right. I'm not even hating, bro. It's just hilarious. It's like, hey, listen, man, it's campaigns, man. Like, don't hate on it. You feel me, right? It is what it is, right? And he's been talking. Apparently, he even threw a little dig at Bartomeu, man, talking about how some of his decision making was like, hey, listen, man, he was kind of helping the Madridistas quite a lot, man, with his decision making with Barcelona, which I hear no lies, to be honest. It is what it is. But guys, let us know what you guys think of everything we've talked about in this Blaugrana podcast, guys. As you can see, guys, it's not a long podcast because, listen, at the end of the day, what can I say, right? We just recovered our place back at where we belong, right? At the end of the day, it was something that wasn't supposed to happen, right? And that's why we were pissed, right? Because we all know Barcelona, we belong at the top, right? We are at the top. We are the big dogs of this league. And we just, maybe we got bored. That's the thing halfway, right? We were just up there, just chilling for so long that we got bored, right? And then we wanted to bring more competition. So we gave Madrid a little slice of like hope just to yank it away from them. Like, bro, sit back at the bottom. We are the top leaders. We are the kings, okay? So we are back at the rightful place. But now, let's keep it there, man. But Hafet, big up to you every single time. Big up to every single one of you guys who have been watching throughout this stream today, guys. Listen, once again, it is lonely at the top, and hopefully it can stay lonely at the top. I've been enjoying the content all morning today, man. Listen, football carnage, man, like, and this Madrid, they talks Madrid, right? Right, they have been doing emergency meetings, and I have had my popcorn. I mean, to be fair, I'm fasting. I'm not eating no popcorn during the Ramadan, but right, I have been sitting back, rolling my feet, and just enjoying the absolute cinema. And ladies and gentlemen, long may it continue. Man like Dave, make sure you guys are here tomorrow, man, because I will be talking to that guy tomorrow. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we
Good,
will
good,
get
good.
into it. But big up to every single one of you guys. Smash the like button on your way out. And hold on, before we do get out of here, let me actually see who's live, because we gotta share, man. I'm in a good mood today. Have you know, it's Ramadan season. Just share and charity, man. Who's live? Who's live? Who's live? Who I can redirect to chat? 1 second, 1 second. Why is my YouTube loading so slowly, man? Fraudulent loading right now by YouTube.
You can redirect
Right.
to football chaos as we're not going to be there if you don't find anyone else.
Yeah. I'll probably just do that. You're right. It's actually like 15 more minutes before the show actually starts.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just redirect to them. I mean, Flawless is live, but I don't think Flawless is gonna. I mean, okay, so I think Sam is live. So you know what? I'll send you all to Sam, and Sam will redirect it to Chaos. So yeah, I'll send you all to Sam. So listen, guys, big up to every single one of you guys. Man like Sam, go to Sam's channel. Man like Sam has been crashing out. I enjoyed what. Listen, I had to turn it off later on because I was fasting, and my guy was using too many 4-letter words in that lies. But I did in that reaction. But I did go back to watch it, and it was beautiful. So make sure you guys go out there. He's doing the the show with he does with Zare. I always forget, it's a Blaugrana the Rotten show. Go out there and hold that in the comment section below. Hold that rate or Omar rate in the comment section below. Big up to every single one of you guys. It's been yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast. Until later on this week, Friday, ladies and gentlemen, on Barca Boys channel, guys, we will be doing the preview of the Barca of the Villarreal versus Barcelona game. So make sure you guys are there. Big up to you guys. Peace. Take care. Vesca Barca. Lonely at the top.